Hi everybody, it's Kate from KatyDid. I am back out at the public lands that I was at earlier with the gravel bars, and I am going to do some hiking and looking in the hills to see if we can find any rocks. So come along and let's see what we can find. So this is what the rocks in the hills look like. They're not nearly as piled up as they are on the gravel bars, but there should still be some things to find. Now that's cool. This is some lichen that's growing on a stone that's been there so long the lichen grew on it. So obviously it hasn't moved for very long. It's not a rolling. I resisted the jasper down on the gravel bar because I didn't want to carry it and I didn't have my backpack. But I have my backpack now and I'm not that far from the car. And check that out. Right in the center of this is this beautiful cluster of quartz. So I don't know if that goes all the way through or if there's just quartz, pieces of quartz within there, but I'll bet it's pretty. Just a little peek at some of the flora that you find here in eastern Montana. Those are prickly pear cactuses. They are not blooming yet. And here is some sagebrush. I believe this is the kind that's called silver sage. One of the downsides to going downhill looking for rocks is that then you have to go back up the hill. I think my plan is to go down to this draw here where they've all kind of fallen down and then work my way back up. Kind of a pretty piece of mixed jasper and something else. Here comes the dog. Because there are fewer rocks, there is less of a chance that you will find an agate hiding among them. However, it's always worth looking, and it's an awfully pretty countryside, and you're going to find something even if you don't find an agate. I wish I had 4 feet like that dog. Just wanted to show you this cool quartz seam in this, or vein, in this rock. ThirstFast has a really great explanation of how these happen. Or I'll link it in the card up there. Sweet. There's the gravel bar that we were on last time. In the last video, and I found some more rocks that I want to take a look at. The sun is at a really great angle, so if there are any agates hiding in this pile, we should be able to spot them pretty easily. This is just an interesting piece of, I guess I would call it, I don't even know what I would call it. I want to say gabbro, but I just love the little bits and pieces and things in there. And since I'm not finding a lot of big stuff, I want to show you some really cool little stuff. Sometimes we get so busy looking for the big picture, we forget to look at the little beautiful things. So here you go. It's kind of interesting. I have seen neither petrified wood nor agates so far in this endeavor, although this is a nice piece of jasper. And they're very, very plentiful down by the river. So either somehow the hunters have all picked them all up, or this level of gravel is different from what is in the river. The river has risen and fell several times, so it's a good bet that over the millions of years that have been forming, some of the river gravel has gotten washed up here. So it's surprising that there is so little in the way of even just pieces of petrified wood. That's the thing, that the marker, I guess, that I'm surprised by. Now, granted, I haven't looked in all kinds of places, and the volume of rock that I'm likely to see is much, much lower. But I still kind of expect to see at least some little pieces of petrified wood. Kind of pretty. Well, so we know the agates exist this far up. This is kind of a neat little nodule. It looks like it was formed in a tree hole. What do you call those? In a knot. That's it. Anyway, it's pretty. I'll take it with me. One beautiful thing about walking among the sagebrush is that when you brush against it, it releases the sweetest fragrance. There's something about sage that just makes my brain go, ah. I wish I could send it all to you. Just a little sniff of, ah. Here is just a lovely little piece of jasper with quartzite or some kind of other mineral inside of it. It's just really neat. You see how there's bands here? Pretty. So this is a piece of sedimentary rock that has been metamorphosed into this kind of arch pattern. On the bottom, it's really, really feels like cement almost. That's kind of cool. Here's a cool piece of quartz. Just this much of it was sticking out of the ground, so I got it out. And I can tell it's quartz not just because it's cloudy inside, but it's very, very smooth. And in general, agates don't form completely smooth like that. Now you know. Don't step on the cactus patch. Actually, it just occurred to me that even though we are in a remote spot, we are also in a spot that does not have the river flooding into it every single year. And so, even though there may have been agates and petrified wood on the top here, perhaps over the years, intrepid agate hunters like myself have come up here and tried to find them. Maybe. Suggestions of answers are welcome. We are approaching the golden hour where everything looks gold. Huh. That's funny. I wonder why it has that flat side there. Interesting. Rocks are so cool. This fella is the closest I've found to an agate up here. It's not, obviously, but it has kind of agate shapes. It's pretty. Not pretty enough to haul home, but pretty. Speaking of beauty and tiny things, look at this. Isn't that just cool? Whoa, that's so pretty. Oh, it's too big, too heavy to take out. That's so neat. I love it. This is just beautiful. I would call it granite, but it has all this other quartz in it. So brecciated granite? I don't know. Whatever it is, it's very pretty. So maybe the reason I'm not finding any agates is that I'm looking for the wrong thing. I don't know if this is an agate for sure, but it has some signs of being so. So I stopped on it to look at this and wash it off, and I spotted this little baby, which is at least partly an agate. It did fool me because it was this part sticking up looked 100% like an agate, and this part definitely doesn't. So I think we'll leave this one behind. Tell it thank you very much. Thanks, but no thanks. Ooh, look at that. It almost looks like a cabochon that got broken. It's green, pretty. Okay, so we'll take this one home, see what it is. I didn't find very much, but what I did find was beautiful. You know, I've been hunting frantically along the river, finding big agates and looking for bigger and bigger and bigger. And, you know, it's really easy to forget the reason I'm doing this in the first place, and how much I love just the simple beauty of a painted rock. So I hope that this one brought you back to earth after all of the big finds recently, and just found you enjoying the simple pleasures and enjoying the scenery and just having a moment of happiness. This is Kate from KatyDid. Keep on doing. If you're new here and haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. It helps my channel grow, encourages me to get out and make more videos, and it makes me feel good. Thanks!